folks, Dan and Josh at the Acoustic Centre. Joshy, we love an Australian builder and we love a new series.
Yes, we do.
We have exactly that today, introducing the new Supreme series from Fenech Guitars up there in Queensland. Check those out.
Unbelievable.
That's an interesting look. It's a great look. It's a different look.
It is.
And there's a bit going on with these guitars. You have the Dreadnought there. That's in a suede brown finish.
Yep.
This is the Grand Auditorium shape in denim black. Now they also come in a fuller black, sort of a faded black. This is the denim black. Great sounding guitars.
Unbelievable sounding guitars.
How light are they?
Light as a feather.
Right. I mean, I spoke to Aaron Fenech today to get the inside scoop on these guitars. He said that the whole idea, the whole design of these guitars is about weight and mass and making them as light and resonant as possible. So the bracing's thinner. He's even chosen the lightest pieces of mahogany that they can get. They're actually weighing the mahogany up there and choosing the lightest pieces for these guitars. It's genuine mahogany back and sides. The top is Lutz spruce.
Yes, we
chosen
like that.
Again for its mass. It's lighter than Sitka.
Yep.
Braced with Lutz spruce as well. What you get is a super responsive guitar.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just... I mean, that just sounds... There's nothing lacking there. And can I just say, interrupt, as an aside note, it's pretty amazing that you can call the guy that built these guitars, who owns the company, runs the company, comes up with every idea, obsesses over these guitars, and just go, "G'day, tell me about your guitars before we make a video."
We need to get him in here. We're going to get him in here and have a chat one day next time he's in town.
Now,
go on.
Well, I was just noticing the back of the guitar, all black.
All black?
All black.
Yeah. Same as this one. Hand rub finish, Joshy. Something I'm noticing in the world of acoustic guitars is that finishes are getting thinner and thinner.
And the other thing, open pore finish. So in other words, it's not filled with. Is there a little bit of grain filler on this, or none?
I'm not
sure. I'd have to ask the technical details, but you know, the vintage aesthetic. It's a hard word to say. Aesthetic, vintage aesthetic, feels beautiful. So not rubbed back to a gloss finish.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing that he keeps coming up with stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Different series.
Yeah, there's a real trend to just keep the finish thin on acoustic guitars, and why not? It makes perfect sense to not build a resonant guitar and then cover it with a thick plastic finish.
I mean, it does sound... unbelievable. I noticed when we were just tuning up before too, these have a slightly a very, it's not a steep radius. So in other words, this is some technical gobbledygook, but Aaron builds with a 15-inch radius. So most acoustics are 12-inch.
Right.
So 12 inch is more curved. 15-inch is flatter.
Yes.
So a lot of people would associate 15 inches as closer to like a shred, more of a shred guitar, like an Ibanez is. I think a lot of Ibanez guitars are 16. And I've noticed that when you bend on these guitars, it's just a simple thing. There's less hill to push up, and it just
feels better.
That's just something I noticed, and I just thought I'd say that as an aside, I just noticed in terms of something that's different under the fingers that these guys do.
Something I noticed is the setup on them.
Yeah,
look at them.
Flawless.
It is an incredible setup on these guitars.
Yeah, flawless setup and flawlessly made. I mean, every detail is perfect, and that's coming from the man you called earlier, who owns this company, who's obsessed with what he does.
Let me pass you the GA. I like the sound of this one.
Now, this is not actually a full jumbo. This is a Grand Auditorium.
Grand Auditorium.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So in other words, looks like a jumbo, so it's a pear shape.
Right.
A pear shape.
Yes.
I'm stopping what I'm saying from the microphone. Pear shape, and therefore it's a little bit rounder here, but smaller in the waist. But still feels small. It doesn't feel like a big, massive jumbo. But pear shapes, you generally get a bit more bass response, and immediately you don't tend to get more projection, but more bass, and it does. What an amazing thing. Obviously it's a vintage aesthetic, but no cutaway.
No.
I love the look of a guitar without a cutaway. You own a guitar without a cutaway, of course.
I like the rosettes too.
Yeah.
Interesting rosette. Pearloid pickguard is new on these. Beautifully bound ebony board, Joshy. Pretty sure these are the first Fenech models to come with a bound headstock. That's a look I love, a bound headstock.
We've discussed this. Can I just interrupt again?
Go ahead.
I'm thinking as we speak. Very hard to get a new headstock and a good-looking headstock. But I think that looks great.
It's a great shaped headstock.
Great shape.
Speaking of headstocks, these Goto machine heads are also chosen for their weight. These they're lighter than anything else in the Goto.
Gotcha.
I think they're Gotos, aren't they?
They are Gotos.
Right?
Yep.
They're the lightest. The tulip style machine head is the lightest machine head in the Goto range. So Aaron's chosen them. And seriously, they're like the weight of a violin.
Yeah, just light as a feather.
Yeah.
So what an amazing achievement.
Yeah.
To just go, let's build another series while we're building everything else.
Something else I always notice is their really nice little truss rod cap up there. The way they do that.
Yeah. So, and what was the headstock, the fascia on the headstock? Is that ebony, did you say?
It's hard to tell.
It's an ebony board.
Whether that's just painted, I'm not sure.
It's hard to split these two guitars because they both
I'll swap
sound...
them back for you in a sec.
All right, let's just play some big G chords then.
Plenty of sustain there.
Still ringing.
Stop.
Okay. Dreadnought.
Yeah, they're different in the room. Hope that translates through the mic. They are different sounding
very
guitars
different sounding
in the
guitars.
room.
I love the look of that one. I think that you always ask me, so I'm going to get there before you ask me.
Yes.
I would like to take this one home today. Thank you very
My
much.
pleasure. My pleasure. Comes armed with a Bags Element VTC pickup, nice and lightweight, just a simple, great sounding system that always works, doesn't add much extra mass.
Good usable stage volume on those pickups.
Yeah, there you have it, Joshy. The Fenech Supreme Series, handmade in Queensland. Great to have them on board. They should be up on our website now. Take us out with a few chords. Pressure on yourself there. Yeah, very well done.